What is so by my name is Tyler Potts and welcome back to another video on 100 days of code. This is day 38 of 100 days of code and you might notice I'm in my car. Yes, last night I was meant to upload at 11 o'clock. Unfortunately that didn't happen because last night I couldn't record a video because unfortunately I was in the hospital with my son. Don't worry, he's okay now and we can get back onto it. So in this video, we're going to be doing web components, and web components are really awesome. They're built in, so if you've ever used Vue.js or any of the above, then you'll know how components work. These are actually like native, built into the browser ways of creating components. So instead of using some sort of create element method, you could create your own component that you use inside of your browser, and I'll explain more as we go along. So let's get into the code and I'll see you there.
Okay guys, let's get straight into web components. So web components are a little bit of reusable code you can create. So if you've ever used Vue, on my channel I've heavily done Vue, React and other things. You'll notice when you create you can create these custom components you use. And web components is basically the native browser feature which is going to be implemented. Well, it's implemented in Chrome and Firefox, but it doesn't work in anything else. So this is still only... this needs a polyfill or something similar to work, but basically web components work in a similar way to how Vue.js is components work, and same with React components. So you create a new component that extends the HTML elements, and then you create the component that you can modify. So in this video, we're just going to quickly create a new component. I'm going to show you how to use it. So let's create well, for starters, let's make a new directory and we'll call it web or the X components, because you know that's a cool name, right? Let's see the into X components. Now let's see the okay, so now let's open up our code editor and let's put that in here. So there, oh, don't add a work. Oh, I'm pressing buttons I shouldn't be. Okay, so in here we're going to create a new file. We only need 2 files for this tutorial. We're going to have index.html, which is going to have boilerplate code in here. So we're going to have just the basic stuff, and in here we're going to call it the X components. Inside of our body, we're going to have a script tag with the source, which is referencing a main.js, and that's all we need to do for right now. Let's move over to the main.js file. Okay guys, so web components are again little bits of reusable code you create, and we shall quickly run a surfer in this file. So we're just going to say surf dot, and that is going to run us a local host. We can paste in there. So let's go back in. So we've got this bit here, and we're going to create something called the X text, and in here, well, here we're just going to put a slash for now. This, we're just going to explain what this is, or X component, because it's going to be a component. And obviously this isn't normal. So if we press, oh god damn it, this cache is going to kill me. If we refresh our page, okay, so we've got this X component, although the X component for some reason has gone around this script. Basically the X component just doesn't work. There's nothing there, it just says X component, but it's not doing anything, right? So this didn't throw an error like I thought it would, but it also doesn't work. So let's go into, well, first thing first, let me create a quick, this is necessary, so I'm going to create a style tag. And I'm going to add to all, and I'm going to say user, oh, that's really annoying, user select none, just because I don't want it to select, because I'm going to be clicking a lot on this file, because I'm going to be doing some fun things. So first thing first, we want to create a new class, and if you don't know what class are, they're basically, their classes hold information about something, so like an object. They're an object, it's still object-oriented programming. You should probably Google it, or I could do a tutorial if you'd prefer me to. But for now, let's create on a class. So we're going to call this the X component, and we're going to say extend. So this is important. So we want to say it extends the HTML element, and then we're just going to call it in here. So we've got the X component extends the HTML element. Let's close that. And what we want to do is inside of here, we want to say constructor, and we're not going to pass anything through constructor. So if you're probably already realizing what's happening here. So if you've ever used React, you do component name extends component react.component, and then you can pass a constructor which also calls super. Super is necessary in React. I don't know if it's too necessary here, but it is very useful. And we're going to pass Okay guys, we're going to write connected component. This is a function, connected callback, sorry, not component, connected callback. And this is a function or a already saved function inside of the HTML elements class. So we're going to go this dot inner HTML. So we're going to change the inner HTML to what we write in here, and we're going to use templating strings, and we're going to write in here diff. On the next line, we're going to write some text. We're going to say hello world. It wouldn't be a tutorial if we weren't doing a hello world hello world bit, and that's going to be the inner HTML of this component. So now we've got that. So now we need to. So if we go back to our text and we hit refresh, it's not actually doing anything. Again, X component is still not got anything in it, and it's still not there. That's because we need to define this component now. Okay, so once we've written this, again, we can't just go straight in. We have to write in here custom elements dot define. So we've got to define a new custom element. What did I just say? Custom element, not elephant. And here we're going to write in our custom element name. And now, if I put X component, this isn't going to work. How define works? So this naming structure has to be something hyphen something. It can't be. It has to have a hyphen. It can't just be that. It can't have any of this. It needs to be X hyphen, and we're going to say component. So this can be, these two bits can be anything you want, but it has to have at least one hyphen in it, I believe. And now in here, we're going to give it the component. So we're going to say dot component. And now if we save this and we come back into our area and we hit refresh, there you go. Our custom component that's now rendered to the page. As you can see here, X custom component, and it's got inside our diff element, which we set it equal to. And that is basically just basics of it. So that's how you create a custom component. But now we can do custom things with this component, and we're going to create a random color changer for this this component. So first thing, we want to say this dot colors is equal to an array of colors, and we're going to say my favorite colors, as you guys probably already guessed. You watched my previous tutorials, and we're just going to go for just a few different colors. So this dot colors. Now under here, we're going to write change color, and this is going to be a new function or a new method. And in here, we're going to say this dot style dot color is equal to, and then we're going to set to a random color. So we're going to say this dot colors, and we're going to say in here random, and this is going to, oh hello, not random source, just random please. That's going to be my function. Oh, you don't like me, do you? Random. And then that is it. Now in here we're going to create a new one called random, and we're going to return math.floor, then math.random times, and then this.colors.length. So now if we go into the constructor and we say this.add event listener click, we're going to say this.change color, and basically we're just calling this function down here. And if we refresh and we tap this button, what have I done wrong here? Oh, sorry, we put random, but we need to do this dot random inside of our color change. So let's refresh. Let's hit that. See, as you can see, it changes color. It's all completely random. It goes between all our colors, and that is a really cool start of one component. So next up, let's make it so we can actually pass in some custom colors into this component. So in here, we're going to remove this array, and we're going to say this dot get attribute, and then we're going to pass in here colors, and we're going to set this. We're going to say dot split, because it's going to be a string, and we're going to turn it into an array, and we're going to use split by commas, and then we're going to say dot map, and we're going to map this array to color, and then we're going to say color dot trim to remove the white space from this, because there will be white space. So if we go in here and we say colors, and we set this equal to, let's say the first one is FFCE00, then comma to split it. Then we put in here AF1E2D, and then we split it, and then we say our same one 171717, and we hit save. Now, if we go back to our app and we refresh, and we tap on this, it still works because look, it's colours, it's taking in our colours and it's getting the length of the array. So we can add in some more colours now. So if we go in here and we add in, let's say 0085CA, what of course do I know? 00, no, let's go for B008E or 000. It looks like booby. Whoops. Now if we refresh and we start clicking, look, we got all these different colours. So that is really cool. But now let's say we want to know what colour this is in our components. Let's now go back in here. And where this random colour is, we're going to copy this and we're going to say, let colour equal this. And then we're going to set the style to colour. And we're going to say this dot set attribute. And we're going to say colour is equal to colour. So now we're going to add an attribute on here so we can see which colour it is currently. So if we click it, it adds colour of FFCE00, which is the correct colour. If we click it again, it's now 85 and so forth. And that is literally all you need for a custom component, guys. So that is really cool. So we can do one last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set at start. We're going to say this.style.font size, and we're going to set this equal to this.get attribute, and we're going to say size. And then we're going to add on a pixel to the end because we're going to have it in pixels. And if we come in here now and we add another one called size and we say this equal to 28 and we hit save and we come back in, we hit refresh, as soon as it loads up it sets the size to 28 and we can still do the custom stuff. So guys, that is the basics of web components. Again, we can reuse this. Let's add in a couple more and we're going to say this one is equal to 32, this one's equal to 18. Let's hit save and let's refresh the page. Okay guys, to actually create custom components, you can't just have it like that. To have multiple of them, for some reason, it only allows me to have multiple when I use when I add a closing tag instead of just closing it manually. And now, as you can see, we have it here. And now, if we click each different one, it all has its own separate functions. It's really cool. What happens if we want custom text inside of these? Well, I'm going to show you how. So if we write in here, let's say hello world for the first one. For the second one, if we write in hello or goodbye world. And for the last one, we're going to leave it as blank because we want it to be a default text. Inside of our HTML, we're going to get a new variable. We're going to say this.content is equal to this.innerHTML. And then if we now go down to our callback here, we're going to say $this, and we're going to say this.content. So now if we refresh our page, as you can see, it has now changed and we have that. But the default one where we didn't add anything, it hasn't actually added anything. So basically we need to have a thing up here and say if this.content content is equal to, or if this.content, and if it is empty, we're going to say this.content is equal to, and we're going to say a default of I am default. Now let's save that and let's go back to the editors. Now if I refresh, now they all get a thing. So we need to actually say if it's not equal to content. And if we hit refresh, there we go. So that is now sorted it. So we now have these three different things. We can change the colours off. We can actually set different colours in here. So we could have, instead of this, we could say, oh, I don't know, I can't think of colours on the spot. Let's go 00CC. We're going to have E0000. In here, let's have a EEE, and in here, and you know what, we're not going to have any more for that in the first one, so let's just change that. Let's refresh. So now if we click this one and this one, as you can see, they come up with different types of colours. So now we can set loads of different colours and change the content. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you want to learn more about custom components, then let me know. I'll do some more custom HTML, JavaScript sort of things, so you can learn different stuff, what you can do on the web. Again, this isn't native yet. Oh, that was an accident. This isn't like it's not built into everything yet. The browser support is quite low, and we still need to upgrade they still need to implement it in. But I believe Chrome said this was getting implemented into everything pretty much soon. But yeah, other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more, then hit that subscribe button. And if you have any comment, any feedback you want to add, drop it in the comments, or come over and join our Discord server where you can meet new developers, get involved and chat with the community. The link will be in the description, and also the GitHub link for this will also be in the description. If I forget to put anything in the description, then leave me a comment and I will get that done. Okay, guys, thank you for watching and peace out.